Okay, guys. So I seen a video earlier today by David McIntyre about a McCoy 2-speed torpedo 15 engine. I saw that and it reminded me that I had this, which is an old McCoy single speed or single needle 15. It's in very poor condition. I got it for free. A friend of mine from the United States sent it to me. It was seized when I bought it, or well, when he sent it to me, I never paid anything for it except for shipping. And we're gonna have a look inside. It also came with this funky wooden screwdriver, which we're going to use. So, this engine is in very poor condition. Even with a glow plug, and it has no compression. It's very worn out. It's missing screws everywhere. I've tried to get it to start. It won't. It'll start and die. The only time it'll run is if you put a whole bunch of castor oil in the cylinder to build enough compression to run. So we're going to take this thing apart a little bit here and see what we got in there. The head screws are in terrible shape. I've taken out these two. They were very stripped. And they took me over almost half an hour to get them out. So we're going to take out the ones here. Video that David made. I've never really had one of these engines running before, at least a torpedo 15. I had a torpedo 19 many years ago, and it was a great engine. But I was really happy to see David's video on the torpedo 15. I'd never seen a 2-speed, 2-needle controlling engines like that. It's very interesting. Like I said, he's a top-notch guy, no bullshit, and makes great videos all the time. I suggest you go and subscribe to him if you watch my shit. There was a couple other screws that the heads are actually broken off. Well, one head was broken off, managed to get them out. So we just have two screws, basically. There's only two screws that hold the cylinder down. There's one here, and the other two that go this way are to actually hold the head to the steel cylinder itself, or cast iron cylinder, whatever it's made out of. Remove the back plate. Get the other engine. And the connecting rod is well, there's an awful lot of play in there. So I haven't actually been able to remove the head from the cylinder itself. It's stuck. It won't come off. I'm not going to try to further remove it or damage this engine already more. It's already been damaged and beaten the crap out of by the previous owner. But let's just let's kind of have a look at how this thing works. So we have our cylinder here, which is made of steel. I don't have a magnet near me, unfortunately, at the moment. But we have only two ports. There's the exhaust, there's the intake. So the intake's a lower. The upper is the exhaust. You can kind of see it there. And here we're going to look at the block. This is a plain bearing engine, it has no ball bearings. So we're going to pop out our piston. And our crankshaft. Quite a skinny little crankshaft. So it's a gas passage just through the center. Looks like a pretty decent crank. It's nicely made. Very clean. There's no scoring on it. Look at our block here. Shh, stop it. Anyways, so this large cutaway is our intake port, or transfer scavenge port, whatever you want to call it. And then this is our exhaust port. These engines ran without a muffler. Some of them there was a strap-on muffler available. Some of them there wasn't. This is a non-carbureted engine, meaning it doesn't use an RC carburetor. It uses a spray bar. This is a control line engine, so basically it's wind it up to full throttle and go flying. There is a bushing through the crank. Very light casting, by the way. Like I said, I got this engine used. I've tried to get it to run, and it's just too worn out, which is really a shame. And maybe for those of you that care, there is a casting number on here, which is appears to be 03705. I don't know what that means, but maybe someone out there in YouTube land can tell me. And like I said, this is a K&B Torpedo 15. This Torpedo 15, I'm guessing from the 1950s. And we're going to take a look at that piston here. A very interesting piston. This is an iron or ferrous piston engine with a large swoop in it. You see this design a lot in very old two-stroke engines from the 60s or old marine boat engines. So basically, you'd have our low side, which is our intake, and our high side, which is our exhaust. So basically, when the piston moves down, it compresses the crankcase. This side of the piston has a little ramp, which kind of forces the fuel inner mixture to go straight up. And this piston appears to have no wrist pin retainer, which I thought was quite interesting, similar to some of the diesels I have. Let's follow both sides here. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on. So we have the intake port opens. That ramp on this side kind of shoots the fuel air mixture up, and the exhaust can travel out down the slope here. This is a very old design. They don't use it anymore. You see this, like I said, in a lot of boat, marine applications. And if any of you, which I have worked on, I've never got it on video before, but worked on a Pampa tractor or a Lanz Bulldog, which is a German-made single-cylinder hot bulb diesel. They're 10.5 liters single-cylinder, and they have a piston that looks basically exactly the same as this. Basically just identical, except facing the other way. Big 10.3 liter single cylinder engine. You guys could look that up. Lanz Bulldog or Pampa, made in Argentina. Same kind of design, like I said, but this is a steel cylinder. Probably steel, or maybe cast iron, maybe cast steel, I'm not sure. Aluminum head. Like I said, I cannot get the head off. It won't come off, so I'm not going to force it to. I did have a spray bar, but it just wouldn't work for this engine. I tried many times to get this engine to start, and it's just too far wore out. It just will not. Unfortunately, no, will not run. There's just nothing there. So, and the piston has a bunch of slop in the cylinder. So this engine's seen a lot of hard use, which is kind of unfortunate. There's no bushings in the connecting rod either. You can see the play in there moving around. Anyways, guys, that's the K&B 15. If you have anything else to ask, comment down below. Talk to you later.